Man, I need to shave. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Low Budget Livestream. As always, I'm your host, the real Gino Reynolds. I hope you guys can hear me, can see me okay. I'll talk about what I think has been happening the last couple of weeks, why we're getting cut off. I'm sure we got plenty to talk about. I know a lot of stuff has come out. I mean, we got the Oscars, as I've seen Bryson has mentioned. I know the Morbius trailer came out, new trailer for Black Widow, new trailer for Birds of Prey. So I'm sure there's lots to talk about. If you want to talk about it, definitely put it in the comments there. Again, I'll talk about why I think things have been messed up. You better believe that after the second time it died, YouTube and I had a chat. So we'll talk about that. So hopefully things are working. If things start to mess up, please let me know. I mean, it's saying only 2 people are watching right now. Hope that's not the case because it jumped up to 6 about 2 seconds ago. But anyway, let me know if things are messing up, and I'll tell you guys about 2 weeks ago here in a bit. But yeah, if you guys want to, again, whatever you want to talk about, don't put in. Sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained. It's been a long week and it's only Wednesday. So first things first, the reason why I think that YouTube was messing up these live streams. Okay, so normally, at least a couple times or a few times ago, I was using OBS through YouTube, and it was working fine. But then YouTube updated the way that they updated this whatever YouTube Studio, I guess it's called, and I couldn't use OBS a couple weeks ago, so I just used the new YouTube Studio. And it seemed to work fine for about an hour or so on the first one. And it went for just about an hour on the second one, just cut me off. And you better believe I was pretty ticked. And so, I mean, one advantage to being a quote unquote YouTube partner is I get direct contact with their chat. And so I contact him like, look, here's what's been happening. Long story short, I mean, we talked for a quote unquote talked. We we chatted in words, typing. I was talking with him and I was like, look, here's what happened. Here's the videos. He's like, can you send me an example? I'm like, can I recreate the magic? No, it's like I'd have to do another live stream, I was like, but here's the 2 videos. Just check out the end. He goes, yeah, this is what. He goes, I'm not sure what happened. We'll get back to you tomorrow. But I had a hunch. And I'm like, okay, I've been using Firefox because I already knew that YouTube Studio did not like Internet Explorer, the new Internet Explorer, or whatever. What is it called? It's not Explorer. It's whatever they call it now. The new Explorer, whatever it's called. I don't remember what it's called. I don't care. It doesn't like it, whatever it is. They don't like Microsoft. And I decided, okay, YouTube is Google. I'll download Chrome, and I'm going to try something. Because after I got talking with the guy, of course, I get just like, I have to figure out the problem, right? I just have to figure it out. It was late. I was tired, but I was like, you know what? I'm figuring this out. At least I'm going to try. So, when, excuse me, when I'm still working out the sinus stuff. So I used Chrome and I privatized a live stream. And so long story short, I mean, it was me sitting in a chair. I ate dinner in front of the camera. I watched videos in front of the camera, and I ran it for 2 hours. 2 hours I sat here. I mean, yeah, I left and let it run and went and did some other things, but I tried to stick around. So that way I could see if something was happening. If I could see the thing coming up saying, you're having problems, you're having connection problems, even though my internet is fine. So it ran for 2 hours, and at 2 hours, I'm just like, I'm done. I'm stopping. It ran for 2 hours uninterrupted. So I had just have a feeling that Google is just like, no, you're going to use our stuff. You're going to be assimilated into us if you want to use it. That's how I see it. So I'm using Chrome right now. So hopefully we don't have any issues. Crossing everything. I'm crossing my toes, and I don't want this to be a problem because I don't want to have to not do the live streams. I like doing these, but I mean, if it's not working, it's not working, and I'm not going to cut people off, and there shouldn't be a time limit. So again, if there seems to be any problems, just please let me know. So anyway, let me, before I get too far behind, I will go to the chat here, and then I'll talk about the thumbnail. I mean, it's just this little story I got to tell. It was about a day. It was about a day last week. It would have been Monday or Tuesday. I don't exactly remember which day it was, but it was last week. I'm pretty sure it was Monday. But as I get older, I start to forget things. So hey, I just know it happened. So Bryce says, looks like Bryson wants to talk about the Oscars. Number one, The Lighthouse was majorly snubbed with only one nom. I shouldn't be surprised because it's the Oscars, but Willem Dafoe definitely got screwed. He was fantastic in The Lighthouse. I mean, I didn't like The Lighthouse as much as some people. I did enjoy it. I mean, it was just a weird movie. But yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't one of the darlings. Where the two popes come from, I really haven't heard anything about it. Yeah, I didn't know much about that one either. I didn't see it. But yeah, apparently, it's going to be probably one of the darlings. We'll see. Though it says, I like it. Is it new for foreign productions to get multiple nominations? Parasite is in almost every category. Banderas got a nom for Pain and Glory, both produced by foreign production companies. I don't know if it's new. I pulled up a list of just like the best pictures that foreign films got. There's some that were there's one in the 30s, one in the 60s, two in the 70s. The Postman, Il Postino, was 1995 for Best Picture. I don't know if it had other nominations. Life is Beautiful is 98. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I know it got multiple ones. But it's really, there's not a lot of names here. So I wouldn't say it's a trend. But the last couple years, I mean, 2006 you had Letters from Iwo Jima, 2006 Babel, 2012 Amor. 2018 Roma was the darling child of the Oscars, and then of course Parasite this year. So I see it becoming more of a thing. Them trying to find at least one. Because there are great foreign films out there. I mean, why shouldn't they be considered for Best Picture? Why do they have to be relegated, especially if they're really good? I did not get to see Parasite. It was never around when I could see it. I think the one time it was around, I couldn't go. So I didn't get to see it, so I can't really judge it. I'm hearing it's really good. Biggest surprise, nom Kathy Bates for Richard Jewell. She was one of the better parts of that movie, but she was Kathy Bates and she was good. I mean, it didn't surprise me. I mean, it's a safe nomination. I'm not sure who I would say was left out. Maybe you can throw some names in there. I mean, she was good in that movie. I mean, the movie wasn't fantastic. It was a good movie. Zepstern joins us. How you doing, bud? Desiree's here. Hello. Desiree says, I hate YouTube's mobile layout. Yeah, it's kind of meh. Zepster said, if Thor is not Fat and Love and Thunder, I'm never watching MCU again, just for your information. You can't just have that, and then he feels better, and oh look, abs. Never mind that he's not Spider-Man. He's not an acrobatic hero. Well, look, as much as I enjoyed quote unquote Fat Thor, it never made sense to me. Just in the comic sense, because I mean, the Thor that I remember from the comics is always eating and drinking. I mean, yeah, he's out there fighting too, but I just always imagine as quote unquote gods, I know they're technically not gods in the MCU, but the whole thing is, I always thought, he could eat and drink whatever he wanted and he wouldn't change. But I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm pretty sure they're going to change him. I really am. I mean, it was I think they're going to use it like as a gimmick for Endgame. Honestly, I was really surprised that when he powered up for that last battle that he wasn't skinny. I really was surprised. I figured they would change him back. And I'm pretty sure they're probably going to change him back. I have this feeling that, I mean, yeah, I know we're getting Love and Thunder before we're getting Guardians, but I have a feeling they're going to, I don't know. I think the Guardians movie is going to take, they're getting real weird with the timeline, because Guardians is going to be made so far out. I mean, Lord knows where it's going to be in the timeline. Maybe we'll get a little bit more of quote unquote Fat Thor then. I don't know. Let's see, where was I? Rob joins us. How you doing, buddy? Let's see. Zeb says he's a hedonist Viking god who eats Pop-Tarts by the box and is the Avengers tanky paladin with big muscles, blonde hair, and cracking thunder. He ain't subtle. No, he is not. Desiree says, we having chips and salsa. Is it spicy salsa? Unfortunately, I can only go to medium sometimes when it comes to salsa anymore. Ever since I got out of the hospital, I have not been able to handle really spicy stuff anymore. And it's kind of sad, kind of not. Because sometimes I was probably eating stuff I shouldn't have been. But I don't go too hot on my salsas anymore, unfortunately, because it just kills my stomach. But yeah, there's a bit of a story. Like I said, it was I'm pretty sure it had to have been Monday. Let's see. Bill says they should split the difference between the two Thors, like he's struggling to lose weight. They could give him kind of the dad bod kind of physique. Maybe he strives to get into shape because Jane Foster comes back in the picture and he wants to impress her. Even though she should love him for who he is. Bryson says, I want Troy queso with my chips. Let's see. Paul says, hi, Gino. Working late, can't watch. Hope you talk about the Morbius trailer. We will talk about the Morbius trailer. In fact, we can talk about the Morbius trailer right now. I was not impressed with the Morbius trailer. It really did nothing for me. That being said, the idea it presented in the future for other characters, with it now, if you've seen it, you know that apparently part of the Sony deal is they're in the MCU now. So, when I had to do a double take, because I was kind of just watching the trailer going, meh. And then I just out of the corner of my eye see that Spider-Man poster that says murderer on it. And I'm like, wait a minute, was that a Spider-Man poster? So I'm excited for the idea that will come later. Morbius really didn't do the trailer didn't do anything for me. I want the movie to be good, but it didn't do anything for me. And whenever Vulture shows up in the trailer, which I was kind of surprised they gave that up. That should have been a save it for the movie kind of moment. But him and being in the MCU makes it go, okay, where do you fit Venom in? I'm willing to bet that for Venom, they say Venom took place after the 5 years, right? And they'll just, really, you've only got, this is the second movie in what was supposed to be the Venom verse, right? So they could just say, well, it happened That one happened after, right? And that's fine with me. And then I'm willing to bet we definitely get Spider-Man in the next Venom movie. I see team up, and of course he's gonna the symbiote's gonna take some of Spider-Man's power, and that's how we're gonna get the emblem and everything on Venom and everything. That's just how I see it happening. Part of me thinks it's a good thing, because I mean, as long as Marvel's calling the shots story-wise, it's a good thing. Having Sony, which I kind of wish it was another company, not Sony, because I don't really love Sony all that much. But having someone else at least a little bit accountable for some of the characters kind of makes Disney play nice a little bit. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. Let's see, where was I? Oh, and by the way, the reason why we're going to get Tom Holland and Venom 2 is because he's hiding out in San Francisco, be my guess, because, you know, everyone's after him. That would be my guess. Let's see. Zephyr says, Bill, honestly, I don't think Thor would care. He's fine with how he looks, and regardless being fat or out of shape. Daniel joins us. How you doing, bud? Rob says, working on my Joker notes for my review of that while I watch this. I have recorded 2 versions already and about to do a third because I feel like I really want to nail what I think about this one. I'm curious to see it, man. I really am. I mean, I liked that movie. I had issues with it. Then, of course, the more you think about it, you find more and more things. I feel, I know Joker's the darling this year, one of the Oscar darlings. Isn't it strange? I mean, other than Black Panther, which I'm sorry, I like Black Panther, but there is no way that was Best Picture. It should have been nominated for Best Picture. No way. It was good. It wasn't that good. I think that it's funny that the Joker is really the only comic character that has really transcended the Oscars, other than, like I said, the Black Panther film as a whole. And it's funny. It's like, well, you got, the Nolan Joker, and then you got this Joker. And, for me, that movie its predictability hurt it for me. And again, I thought I'm not saying it was, I'm not going to do the whole, it's not my Joker, because, but deep down, I do feel that way, because while it was fine with them presenting a different like story, I don't want this to be like the main Joker, because, I grew up on a very different Joker. Even the Heath Ledger Joker, which I really enjoyed, wasn't like really Joker to me. I mean, my perfect Joker is the Mark Hamill version, ramped up even more than the way they used him in the Batman Beyond Return of the Joker movie. Just unpredictable and everything. And they ramped him up from the animated version in that animated movie. And I want to see, my Joker goes further than that. So, but I thought it was a decent character study. Is it Best Picture of the year? No, not a chance. Hey, Bill gets the honors of being the first person to get a review message here, but we're going to show it because that's the kind of live stream we are. Bill says, Volstagg set the precedent for fat ass Guardians. I almost slipped a tongue. That was weird. Yeah, poor Volstagg. I miss Volstagg. He got punked out. Zepster says, I'm just saying he's a Viking god. There's been no reason given to me why he can't be pudgy. Again, I thought it was an interesting twist on the character, because it kind of because everyone was kind of different. You know what I mean? Everyone was different after that 5 years. And it was their way of showing that he was how everything had affected him, I guess is the best way to say it. Hey, Bryston gets the second held for review, so we'll go ahead and show that. Let's see. Bryson says for actress over Kathy Bates, I would put Aisling, Franciosi, and Nightingale, which movie I didn't get to see. Maybe Penelope Cruz and Pain and Glory, yet another movie I didn't get to see. Or Cho Yao Zhang, and I'm willing to bet that's Parasite. But yeah, I didn't get to see that one either. I, I for my Opies, I didn't do acting. I don't know. I don't know why I don't like doing acting awards for that. I just don't, and maybe because I just want to keep it simple. Um, Again, Kathy Bates was good. I can't think of performances off the top of my head that were amazing or anything, but I see movies more as a whole, and I will recognize when a performance is the thing. Um, I I look at movies as a whole thing. I mean, yeah, I admit it whenever a performance is something that carries a movie. I guess what I'm trying to say. But I try to see movies more as the whole thing. I guess is why I don't like doing actors and actress awards, even though I've done them before. Bill says J. Jonah Jameson is rumored for the Morbius movie. I'm not surprised one bit, and he better show up. You don't bring J.K. Simmons back as J. Jonah Jameson and not use him. That's all I gotta say. Daniel says biggest Oscar snub for me was Frozen 2, not being nominated for Best Animated Feature. Knives Out, Rocketman, Booksmart didn't get Best Picture. I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised Rocketman didn't, especially since it's a way better film than Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, way better film. And Knives Out, I'm not surprised, even though I love that movie. And I didn't get to see Booksmart. Frozen 2, though, I mean, I know you loved it, and that's cool with me. That movie really did nothing for me. It was Avatar: The Last Airbender. I mean, they took Avatar: The Last Airbender and kind of twisted the story around a little bit. I felt that, and I really liked the first one. I mean, I don't go back and watch it, but I liked it. And I just felt like they rushed it. They needed a story, so they, as Disney does a lot, they borrowed somebody else's. I'm not saying it wasn't a beautiful looking movie or anything, but it just didn't do anything for me. But I mean, I know you enjoyed it, and that's cool with me. And Daniel says, and the biggest snub of all is definitely Cats, which got nothing. Yeah, I'm not surprised there at all. But they were making art. Um, Bryson says, also between The Grudge and Underwater, the Januariness of horror is strong. Yeah, we also have low expectations for The Boy 2 and Quiet Place 2. Boy 2, I didn't like Boy 1. Quiet Place 2, I'm curious about. I liked Quiet Place, so I'm keeping my first of all, that trailer, the trailer where they showed day one for The Quiet Place reminded me of Bird Box, but done good. Like the first of Bird Box, but done good. I really I want it to be good. Will it be good? I don't know. I mean, but I want it to be good. Boy 2, I have no expectations for whatsoever. VFW is the only upcoming horror film I'm looking forward to. And I don't know much about that one. Bill says there was an alternate ending for the Joker where he shrugs his shoulders and shoots Bruce Wayne. Nice. I was on one of the biggest, and this is spoiler. If you haven't seen Joker, I'm sorry, but it's out on video now, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. One of the big surprises for me was that he wasn't the one that shot Bruce Wayne's parents. That was like a big surprise for me. It was just kind of the random criminal, which it shouldn't have been because it should be a random criminal. One of my biggest, even though I love the Burton Batman film, one of my biggest things was that they had to connect it, and it was the Joker that killed the parents. But yeah, I mean, it would have been an interesting alternate ending. I mean, if you're gonna change this reality, change it. I guess. Rainy T says movies that are like a boss are my guilty pleasure, but I've heard such bad things. I want it to be funny. I laughed twice during Like a Boss. I talk about it in my review. There was one joke that a high schooler dropped talking about prom or homecoming, whichever dance she was going to. It was just like one line. I thought it was funny. And then one of the friends talks about the cartoon Caillou. The joke doesn't land, but at least she was ripping into Caillou, and that was funny to me. Rest of the movie, I was just like, you've seen this movie before, and this one isn't funny. I mean, and if they're your guilty pleasures, that's cool. I mean, and if you enjoy it, if you like, I'll tell you this, if you like the people in it, if you like everyone in it, they're all acting like they act. You're getting them as them in the movie, actor as who they are. So if you like them, you might like the movie. Me, it didn't really do anything for me. It just didn't do anything for me. Desiree says, my favorite Joker is the video game Joker. That is a very good one as well. Also Mark Hamill. He's very much animated Joker, but far more twisted, but clearly intelligent and malicious. He's a planner. He knows what he's doing. It's control chaos. Exactly. That's a good example of the kind of Joker I like. Again, I love the Return of the Joker, Batman Beyond Return of the Joker, and how I remember they interviewed Mark Hamill about that, about that movie. And I guess he started just going into old Joker mode, and they're like, wait, we need you to go this direction. He's like, wait, really? I got to go that dark? And that Joker gets pretty dark. I wish, I mean, I know they did the PG-13 version, which, by the way, if you have DC Universe, that's the version you get. But there's two versions. The PC or the PG-13 version, the regular version's fine, but the things that they change for the PG-13 version are way better. So if you definitely haven't seen that movie, check out the PG-13 version. It's way better. Daniel says, even though we all know that your son didn't get scared by the CGI dog and call the Wild trailer because he's tough in front of Spies, but the real question is, did he enjoy Spies in Disguise? Yeah, he enjoyed it. He had a good time. The only reason he went with me was because I was giving my mother a break from watching him, and I needed to see it for the radio, and I went and seen it, and but he went with me, and he enjoyed it. I mean, he laughed plenty. He had a good time watching it. He wanted to stay through the credits. So, I mean, usually that's a good sign. If he wants to stay through the credits, that's a good sign that he enjoyed something. Because if I tell him, hey, there's something after the credits, and he didn't like the movie, he's just like, okay, you know. So, let's see. Bill says, I prefer the original Like a Boss with Andy Samberg and a giant fish. Daniel says, even though Frozen 2 is my favorite anime movie of 2019, I knew it won't win Best Animated Picture since a lot of people didn't enjoy it as much as the first film. It did surprise me it didn't get nominated. It really did. I was expecting it to. I mean, I think my pick for Oscar is going to be Toy Story 4. Then again, I don't know. I mean, How to Train Your Dragons, I think, got a strong chance too, but I don't know. I haven't seen, like, I think two of them that are on that list. Let's see. Daniel says, but it deserves nomination for Best Anime Feature. I disagree, but again, I know you loved it, and I mean, that's cool. Bryson says, am I just an angry old millennial 80s baby because I rolled my eyes when I heard Billie Eilish is doing the new Bond song? Well, at least it's not Sam Smith. I couldn't tell you anything Billie Eilish sings. So I don't know how it's going to be. But yeah, at least it's not Sam Smith getting his grapefruit crushed in a vice while singing, like Spectre. Let's see. Where was I? Desiree says, why didn't they just use a real dog? Oh, for Call of the Wild. I don't see a dog doing anything a real dog couldn't do. There are dogs that poor Harrison Ford. You know what's funny? There's a couple times in that trailer that dog makes a face like a human, and that I think is what's going to be weird. And it also looks like the dog is bigger than like the breed it is. Like it's like this bigger dog. So I don't know. Maybe that's why they went CG. I don't know. Maybe they just didn't feel like training a dog, I guess. Daniel says, "Where was Andy when Ryan and I went to watch Spies in the Skies?" He was at daycare. Desiree says, "I'm with you, Bryson. It's cringy as hell." Um, let's see. Daniel says, "Teletubbies are life of the party." Oh man, the bullet. Um, Ray T. Spies in the Skies was so much better than I thought it would be. Frozen 2 is boring. Toy Story 4 would be a good winner. Yeah, Spies in the Skies. I mean, yeah, I would have enjoyed it if the pigeon stuff wasn't in there because uh, the idea of the animated spy film, and I know it's the whole. They kind of made fun of James Bond in a bit, saying, "I'm a popular spy. You know my name." I mean, come on, think of a James Bond film where they don't catch him. Exactly, there probably isn't one. Even when he dressed up as what was it a Chinese guy, which was really weird. But no, he always gets caught, and they always know who he is. So at least this movie kind of made fun of it. Yeah, Frozen 2, I'm just sitting there going, really? We're going to do Avatar? So, and Toy Story 4 was better than I didn't, after 3, I didn't think they should make another one. And 4 made me believe that, hey, we might get a few more and they might be good. Even though I think a lot of the original toys got snubbed pretty bad in that movie. I know it was the whole send off for Woody and everything. Daniel says, "Have I gotten the trailer for Barb and Star?" Yes. That trailer annoys me. And the Lovebirds. The Lovebirds trailer kind of cracked me up. And you think they both look hilarious. Yeah, Barb and Star really didn't do anything for me. The Lovebirds look funny. I like the way it started, where it's like there's that moment where where a relationship you becomes what it is, and then they hit the guy on the bike. It was pretty funny. Let's see. Daniel says Spies in the Skies is a lot more fun and better than the trailers. Yeah, it definitely was. I wasn't expecting it to be as decent as it was. One of the better animated movies of the year, but again, that's not saying much because animated films in 2019 were not great. Daniel says, "Surprised you didn't choose either Teletubbies or Life of the Party." Guess I chose a hard question. Again, I take option C, the bullet. I don't know. Let's see. I think I'd be just slightly less annoyed by Life of the Party, I guess, if I have to choose. But then again, if there's a gun to my head, I'm gonna say just go ahead and pull. Okay, so let's talk about the thumbnail. Something cool that happened at work. We partner with one of the local gyms, and they give us free passes, and I ended up getting one of them. So I went and signed up, and I get a free year at this gym. So it's like, and my boss told me, he goes, "Are you going to use it?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "Because I'm going to hold you accountable." So, uh, so I'm like, okay, I guess I have accountability and a gun to my head. So, but then again, a little accountability for me, accountability is good, because it keeps me motivated and a little fearful. So anyway, so I get signed up, and right now it's been, let's see, it was last week Monday when I started, so I've been doing it for a week and a half. I've been walking like 45 minutes a day on the track they got, because someone that's in as much pain as I am a lot, I can't do much yet, so I got to take it slow. And I was walking. Well, anyway, I'm listening to a Joe Rogan podcast on my phone, and I'm about 35 minutes in, and I get a phone call from work. And it's not the normal front office lady. It's whoever's covering for her. And she says, "Your school called. You need to call them back." Okay. Which school? Well, I don't know. They just called. I was like, I have 2 kids in 2 different schools. So first things first, I'm like, well, I'm going to call Andy's school because he's gotten in more trouble than Ryan has. So I called them in the front office. I said, "Is there a problem? Do I need to come in? What's going on?" And she goes, "No, not that I know of." Okay. And I'm just like, "Okay, I guess I'll call Ryan's school and I'll let you know." So I call Ryan's school. They said they checked with the teachers in the office and everything, principal, and they're like, "No, everything's fine." I'm like, "Okay." So I call Andy's school. I'm like, "Somebody called. Who called?" I was like, and no one tried to call me, by the way. I got a call from work. And I was off for the day. It was, I'd been off. I went right to the gym after I got off. And I'm like, I called, they're like, "Well, we'll check with everyone." They go, "No, everything's fine. He's in music right now." Okay, I guess everything's fine. I was like, I'll keep my phone on just to make sure, but okay. Um, but I hear nothing, right? So I'm like, I guess everything's fine. I guess whatever. And I still, this week and a half, I have heard nothing about it. So um, I was really tired because it was the first day I had been at the gym, and uh, I'm just like, okay, uh, I'm gonna take the boys to. I had the boys that week, of course, and I said I'm so tired. I don't feel like cooking. I'm taking them out to dinner because I guess they've been good. So that's where the chips and salsa come in. We went to the Mexican restaurant close to me that we all really like, and Andy's like, "Why are we going out?" It's like, because I picked him up at daycare, and I was like, "Did anyone try to call me?" He's like, "No, I don't know." He was fine. He was in a good mood. He was fine, and so he goes, I miss our turn for the house because if I have to go to the next turn to go to the restaurant. He goes, "Where are we going?" And I was like, "Well, we're going to eat." So we go in and we eat and everything. And this is what kind of weirds me out. And I mean, I do appreciate this, but it's weird because we ate our meal and I asked for boxes and everything, and I was trying to do good. I split my meal in half, and I only ate half of it, and I ate it for like two meals uh, at home the next couple days. But anyway, I asked for boxes, and I said, "Can I also get the check?" And the waiter goes, "It's already been taken care of." "What do you mean? It's already been taken care of?" They said, "Yeah, the couple that was sitting right over there paid for your meal." And I'm like, "What?" I mean, I don't know why. It's weird to me that I've heard of stuff like this happening. Like someone will pay for someone's groceries, say, "Why don't you go ahead and charge theirs to my card or whatever." I've seen it happen, right? But it's never happened to me, and it weirded me out. I am very appreciative, and I was happy that it was nice that it happened. I didn't have to pay for dinner that night, but it was just really weird that this couple that weren't there anymore, and I couldn't even thank them, paid for our meal. I guess they said, "We're going to take care of that table too." Uh, I don't know why. So it was just kind of a weird thing. And it was just a weird day because I'd never had anything like that happen before. Again, it's a simple story, I know, but it was just kind of funny that something like that happened. And I'm just like, what a weird end of the day. What a weird end to a weird day. So anyway, that's where the chips and salsa come in, and the boys and I had a good time. And of course, I joked with them. It's like, "Man, I should have ordered more," but I was just kidding. And I was glad that. I mean, it was a very nice thing for them to do. It was not expected at all. I part of me thinks that next time we go there, Andy's going to go, "Is someone going to pay for our meal?" Or he's going to ask someone, "Can you pay for our meal?" I think he would say something funny like that. So anyway, that's the story of the thumbnail. That's why there's a gym and chips and salsa on it. But anyway, I just thought that was a funny story. And whoever you are, you probably never see this, but thank you for paying for our dinner. Um, let's get back to the chat here. I see that Quee joins us. How you doing? I better get my I better get my obligatory. Jason Momoa is the best actor in the entire universe for Quee. Um, let's see. Where was I? Desiree says, you hear the producer of James Bond saying that 007 can be any color, but never a female. It has to be a dude. Yeah, I heard that. I guess part of me understands that they're trying to just stay true to the character, that the character is a guy. She also said that they should be creating their own new characters, that she's basically saying that just don't gender swap, just create a new character. And I think that's what they've done with the new double O that's in the trailer. They're just trying to create something new. I have a feeling that that's the character that's going to continue the franchise. I think she is going to be the new 007. I don't know her name. I don't know if she's going to take the name Bond as a code name, maybe to honor James Bond. I don't know. But I have a feeling that that's where they're going to continue the franchises with that character. So I kind of get what she's saying. She probably said it wrong. But she, like I said, she also said that they shouldn't be gender swapping. I guess that they just want to stay true to that character. That he's a guy, I guess, is kind of how I saw what she said. Let's see. Where was I? Daniel says, I don't think you should use C because you have wonderful kids. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I got to go back to the. Yeah, that's what. Okay, fine. I'll choose life of the party just so I don't eat a bullet. Let's see. And thank you. I'm sure my kids will love to hear that you think they're wonderful. They're good kids. I mean, yeah, they're kids and they have their issues, but but they're good kids. Bryce says 2 British films, stoked for The Gentleman. Yeah, I'm stoked for The Gentleman. I can't wait for that one. I have to travel to see that one, and dang it, I'm doing it. Because as far as I know, it's not coming here. I think it's coming to Springfield and Champaign. Worried about Kingsman 3. Or worried about Kingsman. Sorry, I see your number and things here. Worried about Kingsman. I don't like that they went back. Then again, Kingsman 2, I felt like we skipped a movie. Because all of a sudden the girl that was his quote unquote reward, the weird reward at the end of the first movie was all of a sudden they're about to get married. That was weird. Let's see, like the trailer for Kingsman, but the delays are concerning. Also, Kingsman 2 is so meh. Exactly. There was parts of Kingsman 2 I liked, but I thought they again, I felt like they skipped a movie. They felt like they're trying to force in these new characters where they were just bumping off established ones. And again, I would have liked another movie, especially like Mark Strong's character. I would have liked another movie with him. And then if you want to bump them off in the third one, but then again, they step back in time in this one. It's like, we got to go back and show everyone where it came from. Why? I want it to be good though. Kui says Andy with a big heart. Yeah. And Kui loves Andy. Andy loves Kui. And she says, that's so sweet. Yeah, it was an interesting night. Again, it was really weird. It was just really weird having that happen to me because it's something like that's never really happened. And yeah, I've had family pick up a check and stuff like that, but just some random person I don't know just paying for my meal, it was just kind of weird. But again, it was very appreciated. Desiree says, been doing more exercise lately and physical therapy than I did when I was going to the gym. The accident has been an odd blessing. I'm glad. I'm hoping you're getting better. I know you've been through some stuff, so hopefully that's helping. And yeah, it hurts to move after if you're immobile. Trust me, I know. I'm starting to feel a little better walking, but man, I mean, my shoulders hurt, my back hurts, my feet definitely hurt. Doing the walking, but it's getting easier each time. After a month, I'm going to try to step it up a little further to an hour or so, depending on how my body feels after a month. Bryce says, Mulan, I'm interested in. I am somewhat worried it is going to get bogged down in politics. Me too. Even if it is good, people are going to say that's pandering to China. And I'm not going to try to pronounce. Is it Liu Yifei? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Wasn't it D3 due to Hong Kong? Yeah, But I'm afraid they're just going to do what they do that they're doing to every one of these live action movies, that they're trying to apologize for their animated features that they're based on. That's my biggest fear of Mulan. I don't have this huge connection to Mulan. I like the cartoon, but I've only seen it like twice, I think. Um, but anyway, I'm just afraid too that they're going to they're gonna force a lot of things that, and instead of just telling a story. That being said, I kind of enjoy it when they try to change things, at least for the better. In some of these movies, I mean, say what you will about the Maleficent movies. I mean, I didn't like them, and I know some of you probably did, but they at least tried to change the story up a bit. Versus, I mean, The Lion King, which, yes, I know it's in my favorite animated nominees this year, because there wasn't a lot of choices. Um, it's not going to win. I can tell you The Lion King is not going to win, by the way. It's only honestly down to like 2. But they didn't change anything. Plus, you lost things because there's no emotion in the faces of these realistic animals. But anyway, Daniel says, still wondering which school called you. I don't know. And it probably never will. As long as the kids are okay, that's fine, and whatever. Kui says, yes, promoting my man. Love you, thank you, Kui. I just didn't want you to be mad at me in the morning since you were here and I didn't mention Jason Momoa. Let's see. Desiree says, I'm worried about Doctor Strange. I was so super excited, but now that Scott Derrickson left because of quote unquote creative differences. Yeah, I'm willing to bet he was trying to make more of a horror film, and Disney was like, well, we want it to be able to go on to Disney Plus later, so we can't do that. That to me is one of the bigger downfalls of Disney Plus, I think, is that it's going to dictate what movies can do because they're going to be on the streaming service later. Because Scott Derrickson, I mean, he has an eye for horror, and I think Doctor Strange being scary would be a great thing. And I just don't see, I don't see Disney letting them do that now. I'm still surprised the New Mutants is getting released. And I really hope that, oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm tired, guys. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. Daniel says, Kui, Andy. Yeah, she works with me, so Andy's coming to the station. Let's see. Daniel says, even though Frozen 2 isn't everyone's best animated film of 2019, but could we all agree that it's the most depressing kids movie of 2019? Talking to you, Wonder Park. No, I was more depressed after Wonder Park than Frozen 2. Frozen 2, I mean, yeah, it definitely got a little dark, but I knew see, here's the thing about Frozen 2. Anything they did to be to give you any real fear that things were gonna go bad, I knew it was gonna get flipped around. And I see that Danny, you mentioned the Olaf scene. I knew he was gonna come back. It's like, oh, the magic's gone and he's gone. It's like, he'll be back. That's what it was. If they would have took a real risk and really got rid of him, that would have been sad because he's by far the best part of those movies. But I knew he was coming back, and I was like, well, he'll be back. He'll be back soon. It's like when spoiler Chewie dies in the new Star Wars movie. I knew they weren't going to let him go out like that. But anyway, Rain T says Lion King shouldn't win. It was okay at best. Exactly. Let's see. Bill says there was that leak grain of salt that Derrickson wanted to fridge Dr. Palmer in a cold opening, kill off Wong, and destroy the cloak of levitation. I didn't know anything about that. But yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, that's just it. I like that they've I like that Marvel has taken chances on a lot of different directors to do a lot of different visions and a lot of different ideas to the movies. But then again, they're like, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm honestly surprised. Like for the last Thor movie, Taika Waititi got to do a lot of stuff he did. But I mean, I don't know. Let's see. Kui says, still haven't seen Lion King. I'm scared that'll ruin my childhood. It won't ruin your childhood, Kui. It won't. But you'll just want to go home and watch the original. That's all. That's what I was like. I thought it was fine. I didn't think too much of them trying to shoehorn Beyonce's character, Nala, like all of a sudden having a battle at the end and stuff. I mean, they tried to just, again, it's them trying to apologize for like, well, we should have had this a first time around. And I didn't think that new Beyonce song was that great. It was fine. But really, I mean, you'll just, even one of the most powerful scenes from the animated feature, which is the Mufasa in the clouds talking to him and stuff. Even that is really not good, but it's a fine movie. But again, it just makes you want, it's neat to see what they did with the animals and everything. That was neat, but it's like, I still just want to go back and watch the original. I mean, Kui says, heard about The Rock's dad passing today, another legend gone. Yeah, Rocky Johnson was a pioneer. Him and Tony Atlas's tag team, first African American tag team to win belts, if I'm not mistaken, to win the tag belts anyway. Yeah, he's definitely a legend. I expect a movie in a couple years about him. I'm honestly surprised. I don't think they've done one about him. I'm honestly surprised The Rock hasn't produced one yet. Now that he's gone, I'm willing to bet he will. Bryce says, have you seen the trailer for Vin Diesel's new film, Bloodshot? It is wild. Also, it's Valiant Comics, so a non-Marvel DC comic movie. Yeah, I've seen the first one. I think they released a second one. I haven't seen it. I did see the first one. I'm interested, but then again, it's like, I like Vin Diesel when they change his appearance. I mean, when he looks like Dom from Fast and Furious, now playing superhero, even though, I mean, come on, let's admit, there's superheroes in Fast and Furious as well. But I wish they would have changed his appearance, because I think the character in the comics has hair, or at least some hair. I would have liked if they would have changed him up, but then again, he just looks like Vin Diesel. I'm curious to see it though. I am. I didn't think the trailer was that bad. Desiree says, I loathe Frozen, so I sure as heck ain't gonna see the sequel. Yeah, the first one, to me, a lot of people are saying they like the second one better, and I'm willing to bet a lot of those people never watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, not the Shyamalan movie, the cartoon, because I wouldn't wish the Shyamalan movie on my worst enemy. Daniel says, I knew Olaf will be coming back, but they found a way to make it sad. See, and that's just it. I know that scene was supposed to be emotional, but if you're going to kill off a character, it's hard to believe them killing off a character when there's magic in the universe, because you knew that the magic was going to come back and that would bring him back. The scene, I'll admit it. If it was done somewhat well, but again, with there being no fear that he wouldn't come back, I would have been, as much as I love that character, it would have been a stronger message if he didn't come back. But then again, you got to have Frozen 3, and it got to have Olaf. Olaf had the best part of Frozen 2, and that's when he explained the first movie to all those people that they found. And then at the end credit scene where he explained the rest, that was my favorite part of that movie. Let's see. Rob says, Joker review recorded, probably going to lose a few subs with this one. Should be up by tomorrow morning. You know what, though? You probably gave your honest opinion, and, that's why I like your channel. As you give your honest opinion, and, you don't, I think you're like me. You don't compromise. You tell what you think, what you feel about something, and there it is. You know what? We're all losing a few subs. Daniel says, I watched an advanced screening for Doolittle a few days ago on Saturday. It was all right. 6 out of 10. Don't know. Will reviews lift on Rotten Tomatoes or not? Yeah, I know they had a screening Saturday I couldn't go to. I would have liked to because I kind of wanted to see it, but I don't know. We'll see. I was a little disappointed in the second trailer because all of a sudden it's like, well, we didn't get. I was invested enough in that movie after the first trailer, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, we got to show off that there's a dragon in the movie. It's like, why? You should have saved that. It would have been interesting. So, um, let's see. Daniel says tomorrow I'm seeing a double feature of Bad Boys for Life, and whether you know it's an anime movie from the director of a movie called Your Name. I know the movie Your Name. I haven't seen it. I saw posters for it when I was at the Tivoli, and it's an art theater in St. Louis. Um, so yeah, but I never got to see it. That's cool. Yeah, I'm seeing Doolittle and Bad Boys tomorrow. Bryce says Airbender was great. Korra was good, not great. But I don't think Nickelodeon really even supported Korra. It should have been one overarching plot like Airbender. Yeah, it did jump around a little bit. I really liked Korra. But yeah, it definitely did jump around. Well, that was just it. Nickelodeon didn't even seem like they wanted them to be able to finish like the story, and it's like you gotta let them finish the story. And though I love the way it ended and everything, um, it's one of those. My son and I think I started him a little too early because I mean, let's be honest, Airbender, even though it was on Nickelodeon and it is a kids cartoon, there is a lot of adult themes in that, and I think I tried to start him watching it a little too early. And I definitely I want him to watch The Last Airbender. At least watch that one. I mean, Korra, it's a great continuation and I like it. But it's because I love the Airbender so much. Um, so I definitely enjoy Korra. I just don't know if Ryan would want to watch what is it, 8 seasons total. Um, but it's one I definitely want to revisit with Ryan because I keep telling him, it's like, dude, I know you will like this. It's people throwing fire and water and ice and martial arts, and it's like I know you're gonna like it. That being said, I am happy with Ryan because for Christmas, it's funny how the simplest presents are the best ones. I got Ryan well, first of all, Andy's best present was a $10 card game called Spoons, and we sit there and play that at night, and we have a great time. And he whoops my tail a lot. But Ryan, I got like I used to have this old Marvel encyclopedia that's probably from the early 2000s, maybe even late 90s. I don't remember when it came out. And Ryan reads that thing all the time. I mean, the thing's falling apart. And I got him this last year's the newest Marvel encyclopedia. The thing is almost as heavy as he is. And he just reads and reads and reads that thing. I mean, the book started falling apart already. He reads it so much, and I was so proud of him because, I mean, he's just asking me interesting questions about these characters and stuff like that, and I really like that. I'm happy he's kind of into Marvel right now, but he was asking me about the Juggernaut yesterday when we were waiting for his brother to get out of school. And he was looking at his book, and I said, I was like, I keep trying to tell him on Disney Plus, like, watch the X-Men 90s cartoon. I was like, I know you'll like it. And he asked me about the Juggernaut. I said, you know what? Fine. I turned on the episode with the Juggernaut from the first season. I just handed him the phone, and I said, just watch this. And he was like, wait, why is this? Why is that? Why is Beast in jail? All this is like, just watch the cartoon. It'll answer all these questions. So it was I was happy that, and he watched the Juggernaut episode and he got a lot. He was just like, oh, okay. One of those aha moments for him. But now he's just like, I need to watch this from the start. I'm like, yes, you do. Because he watched all the 90s Spider-Man. He watched all the Ultimate Spider-Man. And now it's like he's going to get in the X-Men, and I'm very happy about that. Let's see, where was I? Excuse me. Daniel says, to be honest, I only seen a few episodes of The Last Airbender. Is okay, but not my kind of interest. And if it's not, it's not. But I'll give you this. It is a better Avatar than James Cameron's Avatar. Oh, okay. A little story about that. When I started my movie blog in 2011 for the station I work at, it was before I did on-air stuff, before I had YouTube, all that stuff. One of the segments I was doing was movies I swore I'd never watch. And the Avatar movie was one of them. The James Cameron Last Airbender. Or not the James Cameron. Sorry, the Shyamalan. I'm, again, tired. So the Shyamalan movie, I watch it, and I know I'm kind of getting off on a tangent, and you mentioned James Cameron Avatar. I didn't like that movie either. That was one of my you did for movies I swore I'd never watch, and I kind of wish I didn't, even though we're getting 14 more, apparently. But I had never seen Avatar Last Airbender, the cartoon. And I watched, for the blog, I watched the Shyamalan one. And I'm just like, people, I was like, okay, this can't be right. And so I went and I watched the entire series. It was, of course, before Korra came out, so I just watched the entire series. And it took me like 10 minutes into the first episode to realize, oh, this is how Shyamalan got it wrong. And I love that cartoon. And then I went back and watched it as a fan of the cartoon, watched the movie, and even ripped it even more new holes. But yeah, I love the cartoon. I can understand if people don't enjoy it. Man, there's some deep episodes in that cartoon. I just love it. Hey, look, knock on wood. We've hit an hour and we're still on. Thank you, Google Chrome. Let's see. Daniel said, oh, you read that one. Desiree says, I want to see Doolittle, but did wince with the over-the-top comedy of the Oscars in the trailer. I hope he isn't as cringe as he seems in the trailer. He's obviously the kids will like these jokes. Yeah, I know they're going to want to make a series out of this. It's going to be Downey wanting to kind of further himself away from Iron Man, even though there's rumors that he might be coming back doing some things, which of course he's going to have to. I have a feeling he's going to show up for a bit in Black Widow. Maybe, and I think he's going to come back as AI eventually. But he's trying to find another series like he had Sherlock Holmes, and Lord knows if we're ever getting that third movie. I think he's trying to do something different with a new series, and I know that these Doolittle books have a ton of books. So I don't know if I don't know. I want it to be good, but because I think if it's decent, my son will enjoy it. He'll like all the animals and everything. So I hope it's at least decent enough that he'd watch it. Ranty says Doolittle looks like a beautiful train wreck. Definitely could be. I'm hoping it's good, at least enjoyable. Desiree says Avatar is just Pocahontas with blue cat people in a Final Fantasy planet. Heck, they even they're practically the Rons over Final Fantasy X. I always likened it to Dances with Wolves, but I definitely see your comparison as well. It definitely felt like Dances with Wolves to me. The soldier kind of infiltrating the people, then he becomes part of the people, and then fights back. Yeah, to me, it was always Dances with Wolves with cat people. And I'm sorry that the movie Avatar has one of the worst names for something ever. Unobtainium. I never got over that. Let's see. Where was I? Daniel says, surprised you didn't see Avatar in theaters when it came out. No, I had no desire. My guess, the reasons you didn't see it in theaters because the same reason you didn't see Titanic. The hype train, yeah, I just didn't buy the hype. And I didn't like Titanic that much either. Did it look amazing? Yes. Same as Avatar, looked pretty cool. I mean, just really, really go back and look at the story for Titanic and tell me it's amazing. I mean, I'm sorry, but I laughed when the dude is checking out Leo and Kate making out, and then he turns his head and there's the iceberg. What? And then they hit the iceberg, and then chaos happens. And I still think there is room on the door. Let's see. Desiree says, I saw Avatar in 3D. There was only like one scene worth the 3D. I remember when that came out, you couldn't find a 2D screening, at least near me. And it was just, and honestly, that's part of the reason why they took the top worldwide box office, because you couldn't see it in not 3D. And of course, they were making that extra bank. Daniel says, but I'll agree with you with Avatar that it's that is not based on the true story, just like some parts in Titanic you mentioned. Yeah, I know they changed the story of those blue cat people, but Bryce says, for craziest upcoming movie, the award goes to Gun the Kimbo. Stars Daniel Radcliffe and Samara Weaving. Yeah, I love her. It's about, yeah, you mentioned Ready or Not. That was my favorite movies last year. Made the nominee list for favorite movie. Definitely a strong possibility. Watch the trailer. It's, well, not sure what to say about it. Yeah, I haven't seen the trailer for it yet. I've heard about it. I definitely looking for it. I'll definitely check that one out. I watched a lot of trailers the last few days. Didn't get to see that one. Daniel says, what movies did your kids watch in theaters in 2019? They didn't go with me a lot. Andy saw the Cena fireman one. What was it? Whatever it was called. And he was not in a good mood when we went, so it didn't go very well. Ryan saw the Spies in Disguise. I swear he went with another one with me, but I can't remember what it was. They don't go to the movies a lot with me. I know I'm going to have to take Ryan to see Sonic. Andy doesn't ask to go to the movies. He just, Andy did get to go see Frozen too. The whole school went. So he got to see that, but they didn't go with me. I don't remember a whole lot. I mean, I want to say, I think their mom took him to Toy Story 4, but I don't remember. Bryson gets a hidden comment, but we'll just put that up there. Let's see. I read that one. Deb Patel is going to be in the adaptation of Dickens's David Copperfield. Odd casting choice, but I already think he's a good actor. Yeah, he's pretty decent, and has come a long way from Skins. Yeah, he's pretty good. I haven't really heard much about that, but yeah, he's in a lot of the things I see him in. He's pretty good. Desiree says, I love how Daniel Radcliffe is doing all these badass crazy movies now. See, I try to not say one word and I end up saying another. Every time I do these live streams, I always go, hey, it's unsafe. It's, I say one bad word, and then I watch the Angry Video Game Nerd's new video today, and it's like, I know he's monetized. How does he get away with some of the stuff he says? Anyway, Not the Chosen One joins us, says, do you see any new cinematic universes popping up in the future anymore, or did the many failures like Dark Universe kind of kill the overly ambitious fad? I see shared universes. We still got the Conjuring going on, even though I know that the timelines are all messed up in that. I know the Movie Oracle has a video on her channel where she talks about all the timelines and how messed up they are. Like the years don't match. So they don't do very well. Then again, the Marvel universe had to kind of flip-flop some things too, I know. But they're a little more streamlined. The only one I see doing a quote-unquote shared universe is DC will try it again. But this is only after they build up a lot of these characters in solo movies. They'll just establish them in solo movies, not so much trying to connect them like Marvel does, but I see them establishing the characters, and then it's believable enough if you just bring them together, and these characters have had 2-3 movies. It was what they tried to do. It's like, well, they crammed Batman into a Superman movie, and then They crammed Wonder Woman into the Batman Superman movie, and then they show Aquaman for 2 seconds, and then he's in Justice League. Same thing with Flash and Cyborg, and they just tried to do it too fast. They wanted it really bad. They tried to go too quick. I think they'll use a slower approach this time. I don't see really, other than, Disney may try it with Star Wars eventually. I know they kind of already did with Solo and Rogue One. But I think Marvel may try to do it with Disney Plus shows versus movies now, is kind of what they're doing. That's what I see happening. If anyone, it's going to be Disney that tries it, and Kevin Feige will probably be the one that runs it. Let's see. But yeah, do I see a lot of other people doing it? No, not at all. Then again, you never know. Daniel says another reason why Avatar was a hit is because it was nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. It's the same director as Titanic. 3D was very popular back then. Yep. And this movie took 3D to a new level. I don't know about that. But it definitely was looking a lot better than a lot of the 3D stuff they were trying in the theaters at the time. I guess you could say it definitely stepped up 3D, but 3D to me has never been really worth it. The only movie that I can think of that I would say was worth seeing in 3D was Doctor Strange, because whenever I saw the advanced screening of that, it was a 3D screening, and just how weird that movie is made it worth it. It didn't give me a migraine like one of the Resident Evils, the first 3D movie I saw. I can't remember which one it was because they all just kind of run together for me. But I thought it worked for Doctor Strange. 3D for me, there's probably a few others. Because 3D for me, there should be a purpose to it. Another great example is Dread, because they only really use 3D when people are on that slow-mo drug. Like that scene of Lena Headey in the tub and she throws up the water and it's all in slow motion because she's high. So when there's a reason to use 3D, it's worth it. But there's not been a lot of movies that really made me go, wow, I'm glad I saw this in 3D. Dread would be one. Doctor Strange would be one. I can't think of any others off the top of my head. Let's see. Bryce says, is there any upcoming movie adaptation, or why is there an upcoming movie adaptation of Monster Hunter? And what the F is Ron Perlman doing it? I expect this from Mila given her appearance in the Resident Evil films, and not from Ron. Man, Ron likes to work. And I don't know I don't know if he's doing creature work or whatever in it. I know it's based on a game, right? I don't even know the game. But who knows? I'll just say that adding Ron Perlman to a movie at least steps it up a little bit. Especially if it's a bad one like Conan. I know, I like Jason Momoa now, but Conan, Jason Momoa, I was not a fan of. Ron Perlman and the kid Conan, because he plays Conan's dad. That was like the best part of that Conan movie. Let's see. Dan says the movies I know Ryan saw with you because you mentioned it in your live chat. The Kid Who Would Be King, was that early 2019? Or was that late 2018? Because he did see that with me. Yeah, that's right. He did see Detective Pikachu. That's right. Well, he didn't go to the theater to see Angry Birds movie 2. I don't think he's seen 2. I know he's seen 1 and he likes it. Maybe he saw 2. I don't remember. He didn't see it in the theater though, because I only saw that once. And he saw Shazam at home. We borrowed it from somebody. But yeah, he didn't see it in the theater. But I think Kid Who Would Be King was late 2018. But yeah, Angry Birds movie 2, I only saw the one time. I know he wants to see it, and I'll probably rent it for him sometime if he hasn't seen it already. I don't remember. I try not to remember that movie very very much. See, you remember my reviews better than I do. Um, Desiree says we have Splat hair dye at work marketing Birds of Prey. I'm surprised that's not a Hot Topic exclusive. And the colors don't even match the girl's hair. It's so silly. Uh, I'll mention this about Birds of Prey. The first trailer did nothing for me. I thought it looked okay, but it did nothing for me. I liked the new trailer. I was fine. I didn't want him to give up the look of Black Mask or anything, but then they did it. And I'm like, oh, at least he looks like Black Mask. I mean, and then I hate the name of the movie, not the Birds of Prey part, but I the whole emancipation of one Harley. It's like, just call it Birds of Prey. It's like Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice again. It's like, you don't need all that there. Just call it Batman v Superman or Dawn of Justice. People will get it. But I did like the new trailer. I thought the thing about the hyena was funny. I named him Bruce after that hunky Wayne guy. At least they're establishing Batman's in the universe and everything. So the new trailer I liked. I really did. I thought it was kind of funny. Now, it'll probably be like Suicide Squad, where the trailers are better than the movie, but I hope I'm wrong. I do love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. It's like, but she needs good movies to support her being Harley Quinn if they want to keep making her Harley Quinn. Desiree says Ron Perlman should be in everything because he's awesome and has the coolest voice and will always be my favorite Deathstroke. Yeah, he's fantastic. I agree. He should be in just about everything. Daniel says, I thought Playing with Fire wasn't that bad. I wasn't expecting to be bad, but it turns out to be okay. There was parts I liked, parts I didn't. When I saw it with Andy, he just wasn't in a good mood, and it wasn't a fun experience. But anyway, that's why we're waiting for it to come out on video. We're going to try to watch it at home. He just sometimes, if he's tired, he doesn't do very good in the theater. Let's see. Desiree says dumbest 3D was Green Hornet. The only scene I think utilized the 3D was a scene they walked around their car. I didn't even know that one came out in 3D. But doesn't surprise me. I remember enjoying that movie, but I imagine 3D would do nothing for it. Daniel says, and sorry he didn't enjoy Detective Pikachu as much as he wanted to. I think he was expecting it to be. Look, I know Detective Pikachu has its pluses, and especially like the look of the Pokemon and everything. I think he was expecting more. I think he was expecting it to be more like the cartoon, like, I mean, with the Pokemon hunters and battles, and but no, they showed all that stuff at the first, and it's like, we don't do that anymore. Here's a Pokemon City. And granted, I'd never played that game, so I don't know if it's like that. I know, I think Desiree is the one that told me about how the Detective Pikachu is like way different than it's not PG Deadpool. But yeah, I think he was expecting something more, and Andy was too. I don't even think Andy finished it because I had bought it and for Andy to see, and he didn't even really. I think he was expecting. He loves Pokemon XY. He loves those characters. He loves that group. And I think he was expecting something more. He was in. Oh, and Andy was mad there was no Team Rocket. Andy loves Team Rocket. When we play Pokemon, which I'm not very good at because I don't know hardly any of the Pokemon, it's always we got to fight Team Rocket. So I think he was just upset that it wasn't the Pokemon he liked. And then Ryan, I think he got a little enjoyment out of it, but not much. I think he was expecting something different. Bryce says, did you like Murder on the Orient Express? Yeah, thinking back on it, I remember thinking it was okay. I don't think it was as good as I hoped it would be. Death on the Nile comes out fall 2020. Yeah, I am excited to see another one. I like that take on Poirot, I guess it is. Gal Gadot, Armie Hammer, Russell Brand are in it. Branagh as Poirot again. Yeah, and I imagine he's directing it again too. Yeah, I liked it enough. But I was expecting, I don't know, I think I was expecting more. But I did enjoy it. And I am happy there's another one because I know they teased it at the end of the Orient Express. Um, let's see. I don't remember them too much, but I used to watch, I think what was it, A&E used to have Poirot movies. I used to watch some of them because I just like detective stuff. So, Desiree says, and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. I insist on saying the entire title when I say it out loud because it's ridiculous. Uh, but yeah, that title. It's like I know they're just trying to be crazy and showing that it's Harley Quinn leading the movie and this is how Harley Quinn would act. I don't know. As long as the movie's good, they can call it whatever they want. I just want it to be good. I'm not sure I mean, just I like the way they portrayed Harley Quinn in the trailers. I hope they really I really hope that they really give her a lot of justice because I mean, yeah, Suicide Squad had some things I liked, but man, I had a lot of things I didn't. And I really do hope. I know they pretty much said she pretty much said that the Jared Leto Joker isn't happening, that it's done. I really hope they establish a new Joker in this universe because I know they show her like bombing the Ace Chemical plant at the first of that trailer of the new one. But I really want them to establish a Joker because if some of my favorite parts of the new animated series that's on the DC universe is when she faces off against the Joker because she's trying to get over him and become her own person and not just be known as his lackey. And she's just trying to step out of the Joker shadow. And you almost need the Joker shadow there for her to step out of to become this lead character, even though Margot Robbie's fantastic as Harley Quinn. She's a great choice. And I just really hope they do her a lot of justice in this movie. I have a feeling they're going to try cram too many. I mean, I know they've already kind of crammed too many characters in. So I have a feeling we're going to be introduced to a new Joker at the end of this movie, at the end of Birds of Prey. I think he's going to be an after credit scene. I really do. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't see it being the Joaquin Phoenix one. I think if they do another Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, they're going to establish their own little universe for that. Like it's an alternate universe kind of thing where, where they can let that character flourish. But I don't know. What's funny is what was the trailer I saw the other day? Oh, it's Fantasy Island. There was a character in the Fantasy Island trailer that they show him for like a half a second or a second. And then like, he kind of looked like, in a way, it kind of looked like the Jared Leto Joker, but without the tattoos and everything. And he kind of looked like the Joker. I'm like, hey, why isn't that guy the Joker? He just looked really creepy and gangly. And I was thinking the other day, it's like, wouldn't it be, I don't know how the laugh would be or anything, but part of me was like, I would love to see like a Doug Jones play the Joker, let him get really dark. I don't know if, I mean, he's tall, he's gangly, you put the white makeup on him. I mean, I don't know. He could do the big smile. I don't know. I was just kind of thinking, and it'd just be, I don't know. I'd like to see. I don't know if he'd ever get to do it, but I just want them to establish a Joker for this universe. And I don't want to see the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, not because I didn't like it, it's because I just think that's its own thing. Where was I? Desiree says, I love Detective Pikachu, but it was quite different from the game. But I do feel it was made more for older fans who like the games more, not so much for fans of the show. Exactly. And I saw that too. I mean, I know I don't know a lot about the game or about the games, but I could just see that, and because a lot of the people I work with love Pokemon, and they're looking for Pokemon in the station. It's like, oh, there's a Pikachu over there. But I don't know. I think they in a way they did a disservice to the kids, because I think a lot of kids were expecting, the battles and everything. I feel like, and I know they've had 5,000 cartoon movies. Uh, I don't know. Just part of me thinks they did a disservice to the kids, because I know I saw a lot of kids walk out of the theater looking a little disappointed when I took Ryan. Um, but anyway, where was I? Daniel says there are 10 anime movies coming out this year, and none of them look bad, in my opinion. There's Onward, which does look decent. Trolls 2. It looks like they're gonna force we're making an album and let's put a movie around it, but at least it'll probably be better than like Ugly Dolls. I like Trolls 1 okay. Trolls 2 though, I'm just like, why does Rock have to be bad? And they're all gonna get along in the end. Scoob, I'm curious about. SpongeBob 3, just having Keanu in there sells it. Soul almost looks a little bit too much like Inside Out, but then again, maybe to be good. I hope so. Minions 2, at least they're getting Gru into this one. Bob's Burgers is Bob's Burgers, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Mitchell's versus the Machines, same producers that did Spider-Verse. Hadn't heard of that one. Definitely have to check that out. Raya. I saw Raya and the Last Dragon. I don't remember if I've seen anything on that. See, the other day I went and I made a lot of thumbnails for like the year of movies because I had a lot of extra time at work. And I remember making one for that, but I don't remember if they've released anything on that yet. And the Croods 2, and Croods 1 was fine. I'm sure 2 will be fine too. Not the Chosen One says a new acceptable Joker is a tough order, but it could be done. Well, they almost have to. I mean, I wanted to see more of the Leto Joker just because I didn't think he got enough time to do anything. The extended cut didn't do much more for me. The extended cut of Suicide Squad, but you need to establish a Joker. They're going to have somebody. Hopefully they do well. I'd love to see, a new Joker done a lot better than the Leto Joker. And again, I would have liked to see more Leto Joker, and he should have been the villain of Suicide Squad instead of saving the world from the Shakira villain. What was it? The Enchantress? And her hips don't lie; they only destroy the universe. They needed to establish Joker, and they just didn't do a good job of it. And Leto, I could tell, was maybe trying a little too hard to make something new and creative, and they cut a lot of it out. Let's see. Rain T says, where can I watch the Harley Quinn animated show? Also, I'm excited to see Birds of Prey. The Harley Quinn animated show is on the DC Universe streaming app. I don't think it's anywhere else right now. What was it? I think HBO, the new HBO thing that's coming out soon, is supposed to have some of the DC Universe stuff, but I don't know if this is going to be one of them. Is it worth getting? Is Harley Quinn worth getting the DC Universe app right now? I paid for a year and got like a great deal on it. I think I saved like $25, so I did it. I wouldn't say it's worth getting it just for the show, but even though the show started a little slow for me, it was it's grown on me the way they're doing a lot of the characters. When she got her crew together, it really started to come together. I'm doing an episode by episode review of that show on the channel. For those that don't know, they come out on Fridays because after watching the first 2 seasons of Titans, I'm like, please let this Harley Quinn show be good. And again, the first few episodes, I thought they were just going to rely on that we're M-rated so we can say the F-bomb. And it did kind of start like that, but they've been a lot more clever with their characters and the humor lately. And I've really enjoyed the last few episodes. It's definitely worth checking out. Again, it might take a couple episodes to get into if you do see it. Desiree says, the movie gives me the vibe of 2 different episodes of the Batman animated show. The one where Harley's trying to go straight, that's a great episode. But a misunderstanding leads her on a whole tirade around town and accidentally kidnapping some lady. And of course, the episode where she goes solo and teams with Ivy. Yeah. If you want to see her team with Ivy, the Harley Quinn show, the new cartoon is she teams with Ivy a lot. Yeah, I love that episode where she's trying to go straight and everything goes wrong. And I remember she was looking at a dress or whatever, and Bruce Wayne ends up buying her the dress at the end, which was really cool because he knew that she really did try. That was a great episode. I love that show. I need to go back and watch that show when I got time. But when do I have time? Bryce says among the super long follow-up movies, which will be good and bad, among Bill and Ted, Ghostbusters, and Coming to America 2, yes, that is really happening. Let's see. The one I want to be the best is Bill and Ted, followed by Ghostbusters. I want them all to be good because I like all 3 of the franchises, even though I know Coming to America is not really a franchise yet. Coming to America 2, it feels like Eddie Murphy. I love Eddie Murphy. I really do. But it feels like he's going on this trying to recapture everything he did to her. I mean, just look at it, at the episode of Saturday Night Live he did. I mean, most of it was callback characters, which, again, some of those skits were really good. The Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood thing was really funny. And seeing Gumby and all them, but like when Buckwheat showed up and things like that, it's like you knew that's who it was going to be. And, I want to see him do, even though I haven't seen it yet, I want to see him try new things like The Dolomite Is My Name and things like that. Do new movies. I know he's talking about going back and doing another Beverly Hills Cop, and I'm sure there'll be another 48 Hours eventually if his partner in crime is still around, if Nick Nolte's still around. But I mean, Coming to America 2, I really wasn't needing, but I'm hoping it's good because I do like the original. Bill and Ted needed to happen because, again, it's been told they save the universe with their music, but all of a sudden they're middle-aged and they haven't done anything. So I'm really curious how that's going to work. And then Ghostbusters, even though I didn't hate the last one that came out, I thought it was all right. I didn't want a reboot. I wanted a continuation. And it looks like that's what they're doing, of course. So I want it to be good too. The one that I think is going to be the best is probably Ghostbusters. The one I'm afraid of the most is Bill and Ted, because I just want it to be good so bad. Anyway, Bryce says remakes upcoming, The Witches, Dune, and the most exciting Mortal Kombat. Man, I love the first Mortal Kombat movie. I know it's not a good movie, but I love it. I mean, the sequel is terrible. I still laugh so hard. If you haven't seen the Mortal Kombat movie sequel, watch the opening fight. The chroma key on the green screen is so bad that characters are clipping out, and they kept this in. But anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to Dune a lot. It's a book I tried to read and can never get through it. I haven't tried to read it for a couple decades, so I've never seen the original The Witches, I don't think. And then, of course, Mortal Kombat. Daniel says, don't worry, Soul and Onward will be amazing. I hope so. It will be just as good as Spider-Verse. Them are some strong words right there. Spider-Verse is one of the best cartoons I've ever seen. My favorite movie from 2018, man. That's some strong words. Not the chosen one. Daniel Vasquez, that's putting a lot of pressure on those 2 movies. Exactly. Spider-Verse was so... I loved everything they did in that movie. There was just everything from like frame rates, like when he was not Spider-Man yet and he's walking and his frame rate's choppy. And then when he finally becomes Spider-Man that he's supposed to be, the Spider-Man he's supposed to be, his frame rate steps up and everything looks smoother and everything else. So good. I need to go back and watch that movie again. I can't believe we got to wait as long as was it 2022 or something like that for a new one, I think. Maybe it's 2021. Still too long, whatever it is. That being said, take your time because I want it to be good. Um, Daniel says it's Pixar. They can't go wrong except Cars 2 and Good Dinosaur. Cars 2, I didn't think Cars 3 was that great. Good Dinosaur was okay when you realized you were watching a Western. Um, let's see. Daniel says, I thought Eddie Murphy retried his comedy movies and wants to only focus on acting in drama movies after his comedy disaster, A Thousand Words. I don't remember that one. Um, do you mean retired his comedy movies? Um, yeah, I mean, people loved Coming to America, I guess. So they just felt like I don't know. I don't know. I just don't want, I'd want to see him try new things. Because I want to see him do stand up again, even though I think his stand up will be a lot different now. I still go back and I watch his where he does the Bill Cosby impression, where he talks about where Bill Cosby gave him a call and was ripping him a new one for cursing on stage. If you've never seen that clip, watch it. It's hilarious. His impression of Bill Cosby is hilarious. But anyway, I just want to see him try different things, not the same stuff. Look, I love Beverly Hills Cop. I love those movies. I love Another 48 Hour or 48 Hours, Another 48 Hours, and all that. I mean, I don't want to see him revisit Norbit. Uh, I don't want to see him visit the Nutty Professor or anything like that again. But I don't know. Let's see. Desiree says Murphy needs that paycheck, so got to hit that nostalgia hard. That's just it. I know he's better than just the nostalgia, I think. So I just feel like he should try some new things. And again, he did like Dolomite and stuff, and I want to see it. I just haven't had a chance to, but I'm hearing it's really good. I just want to see him do more stuff like that, but I don't know if he feels like he has to revisit some of this stuff. I don't know. Now says, was it crowded for your showing of Cats and Spies in Disguise? No and no. For Spies in Disguise, there was 10 of us in there. For Cats, it was less than 10, and 2 people walked out. It was maybe half done. I kind of lost track of time watching that monstrosity. Yeah, I watched 2 people walk out, and I was just like, man, I wish I was you right now. I don't know if I ever wanted to walk out of a movie so bad in my life. If you haven't seen my review for that, I'm sure a lot of you have, but I was just going to do a little quick review on it. I'm just like, nope, it ain't getting away. Let's see. Daniel says, even though you love him, Coming to America and Beverly Hills Cop, but the real question is, do you love him in the Shrek films? I like Donkey. I haven't seen all of them. I saw the first one, and I saw one of the other ones. It had to be 2. I just was never really into the Shrek movies. The first one was strange to me because of how adult it was, and I was just I don't even remember what year that came out, but I know I was it's just in a weird time in my life where that having that kind of cartoon it was just kind of a surprise that kids were going to see it. And then they realized that kids were watching it, and then the newer films weren't so risque. I mean, you go from 2001. Yeah, I was just right out of college. So it was just weird to me. You go from a movies that had, you go from a movie that has Robin Hood talking about trying to get the princess to go down somewhere to just turning it to like almost totally kiddie movies. It was just kind of funny to me. But I definitely like Donkey. Donkey was a fun character. Desiree says, how dare you insult my future favorite movie? Cats will be my generation's magnum opus. I would have loved to have been on that set. I really, part of me was just like, man, because I just know that director, and I think I said it in my review, that I know the director was just there going, he's sitting there, he's watching his monitor. He's like, I am making the most amazing thing ever in the history of anything. You know, I'm making art. And oh god, I know there's people that love that movie. Some people I admire like that movie, but I know they don't like it because it's good. They like it because it's bad. Um, I've seen some reviews where it's just like, I love this movie for all the wrong reasons, you know. Um, but yeah, that movie, man. I'm just like, and this was a popular stage show. Um, yeah, I mean, uh, Idris Elba's McCavity. McCavity is still such a dumb name. McCavity. I mean, it's the it's the Russell Crowe from Les Mis all over again. Even though Russell Crowe at least tried to sing, you know, Idris Elba's just doing like talking that's supposed to be with the music. Um, I mean, hopefully he'll recover because I know he's better than that. But anyway, Daniel says, Desiree, rather watch Cats, but not Medea. Medea says, or Desiree, Medea says, sorry, Desiree. Definitely tell him that I'm tired when I'm mixing up. I'm calling people Medea. Desiree says, never a Tyler Perry movie ever. I will take Cats a bazillion times before a Medea movie. You know, there's a couple of good Medea movies, but they have not aged well. Mad Black Woman was good for the time, but Medea was not the main focus. And then I thought the one where she went to jail was funny because it's just her in jail was funny. But man, those last three were like the worst. The Halloween ones and the funeral one were like the worst. Not the chosen one says the Mortal Kombat movie needs at least 10 seconds of Techno Syndrome Mortal Kombat theme to be a good movie. Man, I really do hope they do it justice. I know it's hard to do video game movies, but you know, again, I like some video game movies for the wrong reasons. But anyway, Daniel says Ants is more inappropriate kids film than Shrek. But don't get me wrong, Shrek is inappropriate, but Ants tooled the cake. Yeah, Ants wasn't very appropriate either. And it says, oh, I called her Medea again. I'm tired. If you guys got anything else you want to talk about, definitely put it in the chat. We'll probably be wrapping it up here soon. We've gone an hour and 42 minutes and 33 seconds. And again, thank you, Google Chrome, for not kicking me off. It's nice, hopefully, being able to finish this live stream and not be cut off. But yeah, if you got anything else you want to talk about, definitely put it in the chat. Some channel updates real quick. I got some ideas I'm working on. I always do. And some of them come to fruition. Some of them don't. I've got a new series. It's not going to be like a weekly series, maybe like a monthly series that I want to do, just like one a month, of a new that's focused on one type of movie. Some I've seen, some I haven't. So I'm thinking about that. I'm going to look at some graphics and stuff tomorrow. I still got some really good ideas I just can't get to because there's so much going on in life and in work. So there's that. Still not sure what game I'm going to start for Gino's Bad Games. I thought about The Witcher, but do I really have time for that kind of game? I don't know. I think I want to play something shorter first. It's kind of why I played DuckTales the other day, because I just wanted to play something shorter. I wasn't planning on putting the whole thing up, but I finished the game that day. So I was just like, why not? I may play one of the Infinity games again just to play something simple, and that'll only be like 3 or 4 parts. So I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. I just don't know if I can get into a big, long, like RPG type game right now. Because I find it harder and harder to sit down and play games. But so there's that. Those are about the only updates I have. Seeing Doolittle, and I mentioned before, seeing Doolittle and Bad Boys tomorrow. So expect reviews for that. I'm taking a bit of a break this weekend, just Saturday. I'm going to go to Bloomington's got this video game convention going on. I'm just going to go for the day and just do a few things just to get out of town for a bit. and then I'm going to watch the UFC on Saturday night. At least that's my plan. But yeah, that's about all that's going on. I definitely try to have my reviews for Doolittle and Bad Boys up Friday, and then also hopefully get Harley Quinn done Friday as well. I got Friday night pretty well clear, so I can do pretty much whatever I need to get done that night. So that's what's going on for the most part. Haven't been able to sit down and really watch any shows or anything. I've been watching more GDQ. Been watching more of the Games Done Quick since they finally decided to put all of them up on YouTube the last couple of days. I've been trying to catch up on some of those. I enjoy watching Games Done Quick. It's fun. And then you got some of the other ones that are just like it that are coming out soon too. Anyway, that's about all that's going on the channel right now. Let's see. Bryson says, one last thought I had about the Oscars is I'm sure Norton thought he was making Motherless Brooklyn. It would get a nod, but it's on my list for bad Oscar bait of last year. I never got to see it. They only had it out of town. I didn't get to see it. I wanted to. I had my reserves for that movie though. And I had a feeling it was going to be a little full of itself. I do still want to see it. I think it's coming on video soon. So I'll definitely probably check it out eventually. Daniel says Cats is the most Oscar bait along with Playing with Fire. Nope. Playing with Fire, John Cena, best actor of the year. Desiree says they keep choosing the wrong games to do live action movies on. They either got to 100% embrace the property or just do animated. Or make it a TV series. I know they're making Halo into a TV series. These games are almost too long to make movies out of. I am curious what they're going to do, what Illumination is going to do with like the Mario franchise, though. We'll see I'm sure we'll get lots of movies out of that. Daniel says, to be honest, Andy will love Cats since most of the movie is a musical, only 5-10 of not singing. He ain't seeing that movie. Not happening. That movie will give that kid nightmares. Now, if he wants to listen to the soundtrack, that's one thing. I'm sorry, half the song is Cats telling people who they are. I sang a song on the review of what I thought the songs were. Half the movie is them introducing themselves. I can only listen to so many songs about cats. Rob says Joker review should be up by 9:30, doing Resident Evil 5 after, and hopefully I'll get back to normal stuff next week, actually seeing Bad Boys myself, because I like those two together. Man, I hope it's fun. I really do. Definitely check out Rob's Joker review. I'm going to be checking it out. If it's not tonight, I'll be checking it out tomorrow. Definitely check that out. And he's been playing some Resident Evil games. Definitely check those out as well. I hope Bad Boys is fun. I really do. I like the trailers. I mean, you can kind of see where it's going to go, but as long as they're having a good time, it might be fun. Rainy T says, thank you so much for joining us, Rainy. Desiree says, I think it would be cool if they did a live action movie of Onimusha. Samurai slaying demons, plus one of them had John Reno. Yeah, I tried to buy that game when you suggested it. And then on eBay, they because I have to get it for PC because I can't do gaming on consoles and record it right now. I don't have the equipment. And I bought that game, and then the person's like, "Oh, sorry, I don't have it anymore. I forgot to take the listing down." So I was going to play that one, but the third one. But anyway, yeah, and I love Jean Reno. I'm still mad. I know he wouldn't be in it because he died in Leon the Professional, but I'm still mad that Natalie Portman. We didn't get the Natalie Portman sequel to that. But anyway, Bill says, have a good one. Hey, Bill, you too. Daniel says, even though you don't like Teletubbies, you got to admit it's better than Caillou. Man, you're really testing that nerve tonight, aren't you? I'll just throw them into the equally bad toilet. Have I mentioned the AOK channel to you guys before? The they do little animated features of they have Dora as an adult. They have Caillou as an adult. Watch that one. It's hilarious. They do Arthur as an adult. It's a really funny channel. Definitely check out AOK. Especially the Caillou as an adult. There's like 3 or 4 of them. It's like Caillou goes on a date. Just Caillou as an adult. Thanksgiving dinner. So good. But yeah, I don't know. Teletubbies, Caillou, at least, even though he's a whiny little brat, at least there is kind of a lesson to learn there. Teletubbies are just kind of annoying. Desiree says, black and orange stray cat sitting on the fence. Ain't got enough to pay the rent. Flat broke. But I don't care. I shut my down in response to not wanting to hear cat songs. All right. Anyway, and Daniel says, at least Teletubbies don't teach kids bad behavior. Yeah, well, at least you learn something with that show because his parents do straighten him out, but he just whines. That's what it is. He whines and gets his way sometimes. I don't like it. Desiree says the song is Stray Cat Strut by the Stray Cats. Brian Setzer is the best. I love Brian Setzer. All right, guys, I think I'm going to end it here. It's an hour and 51 minutes. I'm glad that this worked out. It makes me feel better about doing these again. Hopefully we'll get to keep doing them. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me, guys. But anyway, thanks for joining me. And what Daniel said, didn't know you saw an episode of Teletubbies. That show was popular and disappeared before you had your kids. Well, they always had the controversy about the one carrying the purse. That's where I first heard about Teletubbies. But anyway, guys, sorry I'm starting to cough. Thank you for joining me. Again, the channel, we're going to be doing stuff this weekend. Doolittle, Bad Boys, Harley Quinn show. I'll probably talk about the convention sometime when I get back. But anyway, you guys have a good night. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been the Low Budget Livestream. I'm the real Gino Reynolds. See you later.